Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, the KwaZulu-Natal government is encouraging traditional leaders to play a more active role in the fight against gender-based violence. The province has one of the highest rates of GBV in the country, and it wants traditional leaders to help change the mindset of men. A briefing by various groups in eThekwini unpacked initiatives that will be implemented to fight the scourge and support victims and their families. Let's go to our reporter Nobile Madlala, who is on that story, and she joins me now live for more. Nobile, just tell us what has been said in that particular meeting so far.
Well, Masego, we've been told that the Royal House has decided to stand against GBV. They're saying that Ubayede has reiterated his position against GBV in the province, and he's saying that he is going to be part of that march that's going to happen on the 12th of November in the province. So we are hearing that Amabutho are also going to be part of that march, but we are hearing also that there is a call for men to be in the forefront of fighting against gender-based violence in the province. But now what we've also heard, Masego, is that businesses are also deciding to put a helping hand to ensure that they fight the scourge. And in fact, I am now joined by a businessman, Vivian Reddy, who is part of those businesses that are going to be putting the money forward. First of all, Vivian, if you can just tell us, why decide to put put your weight against such?
When I was approached by the Goodman Foundation and they indicated that His Majesty was going to be behind this initiative, I didn't hesitate at all because, you know, the issue of GBV is a pandemic in this country that needs to be resolved. And we've supported the late King Goodwill on the fight against GBV and the AIDS pandemic. And I'm so excited that His Majesty is going to lead this initiative. We need someone that's apolitical to be leading these initiatives. And we as a company, as a biocompany trust, we supported a lot of GBV initiatives, you know, whether it be sheltered. We're building right at the moment a home for the victims of GBV in another Phoenix area. We've done lots of projects. And we call upon businesses to come out. I mean, Friday the 12th, Saturday the 12th, when His Majesty is here, there's going to be expected 15,000 people, and we ask businesses to come out, send your employees, send the people out here to hear the message from His Majesty that GBV has got to stop. And we also, as a bio-community trust, we are calling upon the GBV issue to be taught at schools from an early stage. No one's born, and you know, you learn it along the way, you know, of these violence tendencies. And we are hoping through education, and as a foundation, we're also looking at going into the rural areas and working with the foundations and NGOs in those areas to spread the word that GBV must stop. And society has got to learn to respect and honor the women in the society. And we also know that issues like alcohol abuse and drug abuse leads to GBV. And we are very supportive of lots of NGOs that are involved in fighting against those pandemics.
Why is it important for men to be in the forefront, though?
Well, it is a known fact that men are the perpetrators of the GBV. It's a known fact, it's a known recorded fact. So that is why the men need to be in the forefront. They need to come out here and hear what His Majesty has said. They need to hear what community leaders, they need to know that GBV is wrong. And so they must go back amongst their friends and their societies, and when they socialize, and they must talk about what they've heard. They must talk about and spread the message. GBV must stop. It is wrong. It's bad for our society, and it's harming the country's image internationally. We're one of the largest in the world with cases of GBV. And I'm just hoping that all these initiatives that we are supporting will go a long way towards helping to stop the GBV violence.
Just briefly, what are you going to be putting forward as a business?
Well, we're putting forward substantial amount of funding. We are the biggest funder for the project, for the sponsorship for the day. And we're also supporting it with other initiatives with various foundations. But our biggest contribution on the GBV at the moment is the creation of a shelter for victims of GBV.
Thank you very much. I want to bring you in, Sabele. You are a psychologist that has to deal with such. You get to see the cases on the ground. Yes. Tell me the importance of seeing businesses and men in the forefront of fighting GBV in the province.
Well, it's very important that all stakeholders come together in the fight of GBV. Well, Goodman Foundation is founded in 3 pillars, which is awareness, education, and intervention. And as us as psychologists, we understand that it is not enough to do awareness, it is not enough to march, but it is also very important that people that have been victims get psychological support. As a matter of fact, the strategic implementation plan of GBV that was emphasized on the summit, if you look at pillar 4 of that, it focuses on healing support of the victims. So then as a psychologist, that is where I'm actually putting my weight. We have what we call Cloud Therapist, which is a digital platform where the victims of GBV and anyone else who need mental health support can go into the platform, do screening for GBV, for depression, anxiety, and etc., and other mental health difficulties, and be able to then find themselves and ultimately request to have a session with a psychologist, and then they can get healing right there.
And I mean, you get to hear from the victims how bad the situation is on the ground. How much help do you think is needed at this point? Is there enough people reporting these cases?
People, sometimes others are discouraged because you would go to the police station, you report the case, and then the court process starts. But remember the psychological effects of this, because like, Mr. Reddy was saying that we need to bring about education, but more importantly, we also need to focus on intervention, on the healing part. There is no emphasis on that. So if we can, as the strategic implementation plan says, we can focus on the healing of the victims, I think that can go a long way, and people can find closure and the alike.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Sabelo Gumede speaking to us, and Vivian Reddy speaking to us about these issues. Masego, we do know that this march is going to happen on Saturday, but what we also know now from Sabelo is that healing is the process that they are going to be focusing on, and that's what needs to now be looked at, especially for those that have been affected. But the march, of course, will be led by Ubayete, which will happen on Saturday.